All right. It is June. What is it? It's May 27th, 2019. It's Monday. I have a show tonight, so I've got to get ready to go to do that. Exciting news. I got booked for three different shows in Las Vegas from I think it's June 8th. No, June 7th, 8th, and 10th. So I'm going to be driving out there. Really excited for that. That feels like a milestone in comedy for me. It's going to be my first time performing out of state, and specifically to be booked to do it is pretty awesome. So I'm really excited about that. I have I have like my pros and cons or my concerns and my expectations. I guess to start off the negative concerns, I'm really scared that I'm really scared of going and it being totally different and fucking bombing. Like one of the things people will say about, or I guess one of the downfalls of controlling the buddy system is having to be at buddy system shows more often than not. So like usually I'm performing for a in the same places, and I've never really been too far out in terms of performing, but I would assume there's a general vibe of people in different areas. So I'm really nervous about that, but I'm excited. And I'm also, I don't know if this is a concern or what this is, but as of recent, every time I go out into the LA area, like just last night, okay, so just last night I went to see Jonathan Tynes, shouts out to him, and Stephanie Michelle and Daryush, and they all were performing at the House of Blues, and they were fine. They were solid. The crowd was kind of loud and rowdy, but what are you gonna do? But they were all solid. They were good at what they did. But it felt like every other comedian, except for maybe one other guy, it felt like they had no idea what they were doing. They, I can't even put like there was just maybe like no jokes really, just a lot of rambling. Had no idea how to deal with crowd work. Had no idea how to calm the audience down and make them pay attention. It was just a fucking mess. And I went out to dinner afterwards with what I thought was all the comedians, and then I realized it was one comedian and all of his friends. All of his friends and that comedian were very nice. If you guys, hey, what's up? If you guys do listen to this, thank you for hanging out and talking. You guys are really cool. But I was talking to the comedian, and he said that that was his second time on stage, and that blew me the fuck away. Like, and apparently he answered an ad on Craigslist to do that show. And it was truly shocking to me. Like, I don't know, man. We're in the House of Blues. Like, this is a really respected space, and I would have expected comedians who've been doing it at least like a year or two. But to be performing at a booked show at the House of Blues is, I mean, for me, that's a big deal. I don't know if it's a big deal for anybody else. So to have been performing only two times, so for that to be your second time on stage, that's fucking crazy. And as of recent, when I got to LA, and maybe it's because of the shows I've been doing, or maybe it's the areas I've been in. I don't know, because obviously there's amazing comedians in LA. I've seen them, but it feels like the scale of good to bad is way off, or seasoned to unseasoned, or artist to not art. Like it almost feels like I keep running into people who want to be famous. They don't want to be comedians. They want to be famous, and they're just using comedy as a means to get famous somehow. And the vibe is like, oh, I'm gonna do stand up. I'm gonna do acting. I'm gonna do modeling. I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna just do anything you can to get famous. And I mean, maybe I just don't have that mentality. Maybe that's just maybe I just look at it differently. But that just seems to be a trend where I'll go to a show and I'll be shocked. Like LA used to really, really intimidate me. It used to feel like, if you're in LA, that's where you go when you are ready. Like that's my mentality. Is like I want to work in Riverside. I want to stay in the desert where no one gives a fuck and where nobody of importance is going to be, and keep learning how to be good at this. Then go to LA and then already be good. But it really does feel like there's a lot of people who go to LA first. Like their mentality is like, okay, I'm gonna go to LA first, then figure it out from there. And if that works for you, I think Ari Shafir talked about how that's how he did it, and yeah, good for him. It seems to work for him, but it's just not how I do things. And so there's this piece of me that is very curious. I don't know if it's an LA thing, but there's this piece of me that's very curious to see if that's going to be the same vibe in Las Vegas, because I hear stories and I hear people talk about, like when I talk to KJ, he talks about Detroit. The way he describes it is like everyone's out to be funnier than everyone else. And that's terrifying. That's a really scary place to be, but it's also awesome. Like, I would love to be in that environment. I feel like I would improve even faster if everybody's a fucking killer. Like, you just have to. Um, so that's like a concern and a curiosity for me, is going to Las Vegas and having that same Los Angeles vibe, that same like I'm just out here to be famous. Um, so yeah, those are my feelings on it so far. I'm not going to be doing any new material out there. I'm going to be hitting mics and doing my 3 books. Speaking of which, I'm going to be at on June 7th. I'm going to be at the Center for Science and Wonder at 8 p.m. Tickets are $10, and I'm doing the underwear show. So I'm going to be up there in my boxers, which if you've ever seen me perform at the Hideaway, that doesn't bother me. And then I'm going to be again at the Center for Science and Wonder. This is the following day, 8 p.m. for a not the underwear show. It's just a regular stand-up comedy show. And then on the 10th, I'm going to be at Backstop Bar at 9:30. It's 21 and up, and there's $4 Yeah Baby shots. So that's where I'm going to be. If anyone from fucking California wants to drive out to Las Vegas, you are more than welcome to. Um, yeah, yeah, that's where I'm at. So when I come back from Vegas, I'll talk about my experience. But I'm pretty nervous, if I'm being honest, pretty nervous, but really, really excited. So hopefully this is a milestone and a stepping stone to, like, I don't know, getting successful at this. All right, I'm gonna bail out before the light hits me.